So essentially, it's what we've coined as a school climate bill of rights. It's a comprehensive set of reforms that is focused on really prioritizing the use of positive approaches to school discipline.
Where can we establish that relationship between the teacher and that student to be able to sit down and be like, what's going on? How can we help you? How can I better support you as a teacher to help you, you know?
I want to start by walking you guys through a day in the life as a young man in South Central Los Angeles. Across the street to make my way to school, I see police cars parked out front with other police officers on foot and patrol cars roaming the surrounding area on the campus. Ask yourself, how can we truly be expected to achieve at a high academic level when we are experiencing conditions that are more like a prison and less like a school?
I appreciate going through that journey of doing the work, flying out, talking to Senate folks or school districts and all of that, and really trying to implement it. So that was a journey in itself, getting folks aligned with the mission.
School climate bill of rights resolution. Every student matters to me because we should have an equal opportunity to maximize our potentials, right? Right? I make some more noise from me.
Fighting for justice!
Welcome, Blue Shirts.
My name is Damian Valentine. I am a sophomore at Manual Arts and proud member of Community Coalition and Brother Son Selves Coalition. I am here to support the School Climate Bill of Rights.
In LAUSD, Latino students are twice as likely to be suspended than whites, and African Americans are 6 times as likely.
Our schools need real alternatives that support students. This School Climate Bill of Rights is the first step to achieving that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna buy because there's a word called consequence. But I'm not gonna give you permission to go and act crazy and think there are no consequences to your behavior. I'm gonna vote no.
This to me is not about a pass to behaving appropriately. It's about how we as a system respond disproportionately when we see behavior in our schools.
What I've seen is that the consequences in a restorative justice model actually work.
Expecting great things, I'm a yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Because of all the work that you all put in here today, from the students from Community Coalition, from Labor Community Strategy Center, from Inner City Struggle, all your work culminated here today with a 5-2 vote.
It was a long battle. It took 2 years to pass. I mean, think about 2 years. A lot can happen in 2 years as far as life is concerned. I think it gave us more hope, more faith to keep continuing on, to do the work, to do the groundwork, to get other policies put into play. And I realized that if you want change, it takes time.
I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win!
Yes, young people may not necessarily be able to vote, but that doesn't mean they can't have an impact on the political process. Doesn't mean that they can't have an impact on the ways in which policies, laws, and practices are changed and remade.
As a generation, I feel like we've reached this consciousness that it's all right to be disruptive. It's all right to not be civil when, kids are in cages and our friends are being deported and we're being saddled with all of these problems that we didn't create. But part of that is also realizing that liberation and our quest for equality and equity, that's gonna be a constant struggle that we fight throughout our lives.
Discover the stories that matter to Southern California. Stream now on the free PBS app.
I think students really got fed up when the adult allies that they stood in solidarity with let them down. 100 young people came together and decided that they needed power. And one of the ways to get power was to have 16-year-olds being able to have the right to vote for their school board officials. So that's the reason why we're engaged with Expand the Vote to 16.
Oakland Youth Vote is a movement led by young leaders in Oakland, and one of our steps is to expand voting rights to 16 and 17-year-olds when it comes to their school board elections here in Oakland.
Youth under the age of 18 are making vital contributions to society every day.
But we're not done. We're gonna keep going and we're gonna keep fighting because that's what we do.
For the past 4 years, I've been involved in
win, lose, or whatever. The biggest takeaway is going to be building that coalition and understanding the power of the people that came together and how do we pivot, transition to the next, issue.
Discover the stories that matter to Southern California. Stream now on the free PBS app.
Post-war in the United States, there's a generation growing up in a situation in which they don't immediately have to leave school. They're not threatened by a Great Depression. They're not immediately being drafted into a world war. And so there's time to actually have an adolescence.
For middle-class white people, there's a real explosion of growth and prosperity. And then that contributed to a kind of suburban life for middle-class teenage youth that led to movements like the Beats and a kind of disenchantment with the materialism of the 1950s.
It's important to realize that in the post-war period, that this is a highly racially stratified system. At this time, tremendously racially restrictive housing practices and segregation, the emergence of suburbia that produced benefits for white America. Young people of color were understanding that they were being left out of the benefits and finding a need to struggle against injustice.
Somebody like Barbara Johns, for example, her school in Virginia was one of the 5 schools that was put into the case for Brown versus Board of Education. That was in 1951, and she was 15 years old. She organized a walkout at her school because her school facilities were so bad they were teaching classes on buses.
A lot of people point to the lunch counter sit-ins in Greensboro, North Carolina in 1960, which was young people like 17, 18, 19-year-old, and that leading to the birth of the civil rights movement. We can see in the 60s kind of that current of seeing a promise of freedom and a promise of liberation, and then contrasting that with the reality of what they're seeing in the country. There was Chicano movement organizing in the 60s, like the 1968 blowouts. Certainly that was a place where high school students played a major role.
The educational process of Mexican Americans for over 20 years in East Los Angeles and throughout the Southwest has been disrupted by its failure to communicate with the Mexican American. That is the disruption. There's social injustice.
One of the factors that has contributed to young people's ability to demand a seat at the table has been the decades of organizing, particularly organizing by people of color. The Black Panthers were around here in California. Asian Americans have been fighting for social justice. However, it's been the older white folks that have voted in large numbers, and this has resulted in a disinvestment in programs for young people.
We, the people, not the politicians, are still the boss.
Proposition 13 will cut taxes in half, slash California's state income by $7 billion, and the brunt of the economies will be borne by schools. Stunned education officials describe the scale of the problem as completely crippling.
We're seeing the absolute collapse of a school system.
And I remember the passage of Prop 13 in 1978, when our public libraries did reduce their hours. You know, you could see and feel a difference in your access to public services as a kid.
So I grew up in the California of the 1960s and 70s. And when I was growing up, I remember like my elementary school had these science labs with microscopes. We went on field trips all the time. I participated in park and rec programs growing up that were free. But after we passed Proposition 13, which from that point on, you can trace a gradual disinvestment in schools.
Discover the stories that matter to Southern California. Stream now on the free PBS app.
The majority of our population comes from immigrant families
We usually provide Know Your Rights trainings and forums to our community members. Also, we put candidates forums together for city council and for school board.
I would advocate for youth programs, especially more youth leadership programs, because I think that's something we really need in our city.
So I think for us, it's very important to create that space of possibilities for undocumented people of like, you do have a voice and you do have some form of power. It might not be the voting power that you need or want, but you definitely can make a difference.
Around environmental justice. Environmental justice.
And it's like by coming together, bringing in the knowledge, sharing it, that's to me organizing, that's bringing change. Which means like when we learn, we teach someone else.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm from the No Media. Is it okay if I drop off a couple copies of our paper? Yeah. Journalism kind of just became a natural extension of the activism and causes that I was already supporting and doing. Have a nice day. Knowledge is power. So I feel like when people have knowledge, they're more empowered to make choices.
Organizing is not just the work of individualism, definitely not. You need community, you need everybody. You need dogs, cats. I mean, come on, like, you can't do organizing without community.
I feel like for so long, America has been defined by this individualist mindset where it's like me, me, me. My rights matter over everyone else's. Like my personal liberties matter. Like, but our generation has focused on sort of like forging that path together to achieve like collective change.
The best thing we can do is prepare the next generation to, fight back. We're not letting certain boundaries like define us anymore or divide us. As long as people are talking, as long as that conversation is there, then there's going to be people like pushing the movement. And young people are going to be at the front line of that every single time.
Discover the stories that matter to Southern California. Stream now on the free PBS app.
Hi guys, my name is Yaz.
My name is Ree. My name is Leroy Shelley.
Hi, my name is Ebony.
Hi, my name is Johnny Rivers. I'm an alumni at Better Youth and a program manager for Real to Real Global Youth Film Festival. Yeah.
Not only does my vote matter, but all our votes matter, and it's really important that we all vote. As a young African-American female, I feel like my voice matters because the future really affects us the most. Like, if you're a white male, you're always going to be protected in the system. Doesn't matter what you do.
That my voice matters because, like, instead of not saying nothing, I could say something, and that it'll have more of an impact instead of just staying silent and letting things kind of just be rolled over.
I feel like in a Black community, we don't have many people that are taught to go out and vote and stand in for what they believe. So I feel the more we come together, the more we vote, the more they add up, the more representation we get, and the more we start to see change.
Your voice is your voice so that you can use it. And if you're not going to use it, then you ain't got nothing to complain about.
I think for me, one of the things that I want to see and that weighs heavy on my heart is the lack of education or the misinformation that's been given to my communities or people that come from communities like mine.
I guess just proactiveness toward the Black community. I feel like we definitely have been having and making strides within our own community. However, not as much support in that regard. I just feel like there should be a lot more unity, simply put.
More awareness, more appreciation for like the Black people. I feel like Black History Month, like we can have a month, but I feel like we need to learn more stories about Black people in our history books. I feel like our education should not be taken from us. Big thing though is the greed and the negativity. I feel like if everybody was just a lot more positive and giving, everybody would be peaceful, but we all can't get what we want.
Less police brutality, more educational powers being met, the school system could do better. And I feel if we really stand out and let people know that Black Lives Matter, it will make a bigger statement and a bigger impact in our communities.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm Sid Stewart, founder and CEO of Better Youth. Thank you.
And I'm Michelle Drayton. I am the co-chairman of the Advisory Council for Better Youth. I've been a volunteer for many years, and in about a week or so, I will be on staff as their career advisor, and I am so excited about doing that.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate you.
And especially to the young people who are here, I just want to acknowledge Dante, who created that promo that we were watching. Sherelle is here. Micah Trinidad, who's one of our youth in our program, she reached out and wanted to be on the event planning team, and we were just notified that Univision is coming, and so they'll be speaking with Micah after the event, just asking her questions about why voice is so important in this generation. I want to acknowledge Harriet Zaretsky, who is also our co-chair of our advisory council, who worked tirelessly to bring this event together and sponsored the food and some of the activities. And it's just really powerful when a community comes together to make a difference in the lives of young people. So yeah, I guess we're gonna get started. Is Kim Watson here from 100 Black Women? Okay, awesome.
Yes, come on up, Kim. She has a few words to say.
I'm sorry, what was that? Thank you.
Thank you for letting us know, because we can't see a thing.
So this really was a grassroots movement. I mean, we're in a critical time in history, and we have the power to shift what happens to us. And it's important that we communicate that language to young people, because we're passing the baton to you, because the power is in your hands. It's in our hands as well. But as we age, and some of us are doing the Benjamin Button, so as we age, we're passing on this information and this important task to you. The power is with the people, right? And your vote matters, and this is going to be a very close election, so every vote counts. If you had a friend that didn't come today, when you go back to school on Tuesday, tell somebody. You have until October 21st to register to vote. It's important. And Harry and I sat at lunch one time, and I just was disenchanted with the whole political process. And between Harriet and my mom, they planted a seed in me that I knew that it was important to do this. I knew that it was important to vote, and also to pass that lesson on to our young people. So I just want to give a round of applause to all the young people who did show up today, that they felt that it was important and they understand that their voice matters. And most movements in this country have been started by young people.
That's right.
Right? A few young people. So it only takes a few. But we're all here in this room, and together we can go out and tell someone and make a difference. So,
absolutely. So, at this time, we'd like to have Kim Watson come up. She is the Vice President of 100 Black Women, and she'll say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I am Kimberly Watson. I'm the first Vice President of Programs for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Los Angeles. We are an advocacy organization. We advocate on behalf of Black women and girls to promote leadership development and gender equity in the areas of health, education, economic empowerment, and public policy. And I'm so excited to be here with Better Youth for this youth voter outreach event. We are here to educate, elevate, and empower our youth. And the Coalition of 100 Black Women is a nonpartisan 501c3 organization. So our focus is really about making sure you get out to vote, making sure you know that your vote matters and why your vote matters. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, oh, this election is the most important election of our time. Well, it is, but it's important that you know every election is important. And this presidential election that's coming up in just 23 days is very important. It's important that we get out to vote on Tuesday, November 1st, because there are so many decisions on the ballot. And have you ever asked, how can they do that? Or why do they do that? You want to know why? You want to know how? Because of voting. The November election and the March midterm election, that's your opportunity to make decisions that affect who our elected officials are, because they are the ones who are making decisions on your life, your real everyday life. Things like what youth employment programs are available, or housing options for foster youth after they turn 18 and become emancipated. This ballot has some decisions that are going to affect you personally in your real life. In this election on November 5th, we are making decisions about who will be the President of the United States, the U.S. congressional representatives, California state senators, LA County District Attorney, and a host of judges, city council, and school board seats all over the county are going to be decided. But did you also know we are going to make decisions about changing the penalties from misdemeanors to felonies for drug and theft charges? Did you know we are going to be making decisions about rent control and whether or not we should raise the minimum wage from $15 to $18 an hour? Oh, and 20 billion with a B, dollars are going to be authorized or not for our parks and schools. So it's not just about voting for the President of the United States. It's all those other decisions that will have an influence over how you and your family and your friends move in your actual everyday real life. So no excuses. We have too many decisions that affect us in a real way. The President of the United States, homelessness, rent control, minimum wage, penalties for drug and theft charges. So let's get together, let your voice be heard, let's get out and vote, because every single vote counts and your vote matters.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We also like to acknowledge those who rallied with us to make this event possible: CASA LA, the League of Women Voters, Institute for Public Strategies, the National Council of Black Women, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, Happy Trails, and Stepping Forward LA, in addition to Better Youth. And just so you know, you might be new, but Better Youth is a social impact nonprofit, and our mission is to build creative confidence, close resource gaps, and prepare foster and system-impacted youth for professional and personal success in the creative economy. We have 2 progressions of programs. We have 2 pre-apprenticeship programs and a state and federally registered apprenticeship program. So our vision is to equip and empower the next-gen powerhouses of the arts, media, and entertainment industries. And we do that by providing technical skills training, mentorship, professional skills development, and paid work experiences, in addition to social support to kind of bridge the digital and diversity divide. We also are looking for mentors, so there is a tabletop stand in the lobby. There's a QR code if you're interested. We're recruiting mentors. We need about 5 more, an accountability partner, and those who work in the spaces of media arts. It's important that we as a village come together, right, to kind of support each other. So I'm grateful for the collaborations that we have with other foster youth serving organizations. I just want to shout out Beth Ryan for being here. I love what you're doing. You're building a community, a digital community. If anybody is not on the app, please find out more information about that. But we are a collective, and we don't compete. It takes a village to raise just one child. So, you know, there's over 30,000 youth in foster care that are documented. So we need all of us. And I do want to shout out the Change Reaction. I know Glenn is here. Glenn is my mentor. He's here as well. Ira, thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, just for being here. And so without further ado, we have our young people that are going to get on this stage and take over. So I am going to introduce 2 young people from our program. Yaz, who's known as Canvas on the Beat, and Jonah, who's known as Janae Rivers. They are going to go and do a piece for you. So Janae, are you here? Okay.
Hey, I know her. All right, I'm gonna do a song Good. I was gonna do a spoken word, but I'm gonna do a song. And the first song I'm gonna do is called Silence. It's the song I wrote about spoken word. I ain't gonna lie, I should not have ate before my performance, but I'm gonna do the best I can for y'all. And then after that, I'm gonna do a party song that I wrote with Yaz called Respect. So, Sean, or music person. Yo, I miss you. My name Jonah. And this song right here is for anybody that's dealt with depression or grief. You know, depression don't miss you. It don't matter your race, your age, your size, your height, the way you look. We all experienced it before. Is that the speakers or the? Is that? Yo, all right. Look. I guess I gotta stand back here because I don't know what's going on with that. Listen, laying in this bed isn't good for my health. Sitting staring at this rug and all the problems I swell was helping everybody else and couldn't help myself. Last year I went through hell, all the pain I felt. I had people tear me down when all I needed was help. They say trusting the wrong people can be bad for your health. No, for real, let me tell y'all what happened. I was depressed. I ain't know if I should be rapping, it caused me stress. But as I broke down and cried, I knew like an old man, this would pass with time. Couldn't do it by myself, so I gave it to God. They say holding on to pain can be bad for the heart. Yeah, this isn't music, it's art. This isn't music, it's art. Look, wishing heaven had a phone I could call, cause when I'm falling apart, I miss you. Let me talk to y'all about grief. Grief ain't just for those who die, it's for those who still alive. When we lose a job or somebody we love and care about, we grieve. So let me talk to y'all about my process. Listen, ever since you left, things have not been the same. I keep doing the same things and expecting a change that either makes me a fool or it makes me insane. Either way, I keep going, I created my lane. It's a shame the ones I call friends wasn't my friends. It's okay, cause everything in life comes to an end. Got my flaws, but I'm too real to ever pretend. Stand tall and I stand on whatever I said. Let me get up, I don't think they really hear what I'm saying. Drop the baton, I don't think the message is relaying. I had to practice being strong and learn how to be patient. Every L I ever took in this life was a lesson. All the messy situations turned into a message. Going at my own pace, but it feel like I'm racing. Lost a lot of loved ones, I reminisce on the day. Got me saying, damn, life is crazy. I miss you. Look, don't wanna sit in silence. I just want y'all in the audience to know I miss you. That grief and depression, it don't last. And like I said, like an old man, with time, it just passed. Now, this next song right here is called Respect. It's a collaboration, but the first girl couldn't be here today. So we're gonna let her track play.
Out of respect.
Most people don't know this, but I dance like Chris Brown in my head. So, with that being said, I'ma just dance to the first verse, and then Canvas go come in, and then I'ma close out. So with that being said, drop the song.
Give me him, her, and them, and I'ma show you why they not. Focus on my step plan, bitch, I'm cream of the crop, I mean the blueprint. Yeah, they be like, who this? Take a pic from every angle, knew I was your top pick. This my world, what y'all saying, huh? Big dog got the cape, I let her run. If they don't feel this in they bone, they ain't hearing none. No, they ain't hearing none. I told these hoes one more again, I been like that.
Say what?
Put some respect on my spect on my. Put some respect on my spect on my. Put some respect on my spect on my. Put some respect on my spect on my name.
What? Don't mean no harm, I just be feeling myself. When I be feeling good, go ahead, text me, disrespect me with somebody would. Give me a reason to lash out, hash out, why do that? We can cash out, money in the bank, fuel in our tank. Let the strength of life give us some strength instead of taking a bait.
What?
We can hardly We can all shine, sister. When you shaking my hand, look me in my eyes, please, mister. What? Searching for adventure, what? Looking for that fuego. What? Breaking the shot, pressure, feel like it's what I'm made for. What? I wanna smile, wanna rise while I'm making my dough. Then we feel what we feel, so we know what we know. Any tangles coming my way, I'm picking the fro. Here to learn while I can, here to shine till I glow. Most high, he be blessing me, he be helping me grow. Turn the water to wine, turn the ash to snow. Keep our lives open, place a closed case. Make your own fire burn, make that ice break. Let them talk, truck on drops, because that monster weight just don't ruin something. I'm trying to keep up with fate. Put some respect on my face. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on my name. The streets raised me, but no, I don't bang. Trust issues, no, we can't hang. I was raised different, we not the same. I only trip if you step in my lane. I'm not mean, it's just a lot on my brain. The money is the only thing that keep me sane. Kevin's that's for the features,
so she came through the paint. What?
I'm no longer putting fear over fate. I told Lil Baby stop playing games. Okay. I'm no but I need my space. I'm not trying to catch a case. Say what? Once again, put respect on my name. If you knew me, then just know I changed. Once again, put respect on my name. Please put respect on my name. What?
Please put respect on my name. Put some respect on her name.
Say what?
Put some respect on her name. Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on my vote. 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 Hey, we out of here. Thank y'all.
I'm gonna do one more song for y'all. If you could start it, ready when you are. I wrote this song last night, by the way. So, I'm gonna do my best. Thank you.
Like, oh.
Hey. Look. You and I, T.Y., give us some unity. You and I, T.Y., give us some unity. You and I, T.Y., give us some unity. If all the colors of community, we be majority. We'd see us in authority. Wouldn't have to fight so hard to shine as we are. As bright as we are, this world should be ours. And the reason we still fighting. We would stop a second just to see who we be fighting. Fighting the wrong team. Why would I fight me? Why not come together and lean? So we on top overlooking that green. Crazy thing is, if we just got over ourselves, we probably know what pieces. They'd rather watch our world breaking to pieces. Tectonic just broke a plate. I'm trying to fix it with pace. Let's learn from my past mistakes. It's a unity. What? Hey. You and I, T.Y., give us some unity. You and I, T.Y., give us some unity. If you won't do nothing, then you can't say nothing. If your ears went numb, I'll say it more than once. Won't do nothing, can't say nothing. If your ears went numb, I'll say it more than once. Thank y'all.
I just meant to tell the kids, y'all voice matter. So make sure y'all get out there and vote if you 18 or older. Now for me, when I turned 18, I was fortunate enough to have Obama running for president, but y'all may be discouraged by the candidates, but please use your voice and go vote. Our ancestors did not die for us to vote, for us to not do so. They died for us to vote for a reason, because our voice and our vote matter. So make sure y'all go vote.
All right, let's give them one more round of applause. They were fire. Now, and it's my great pleasure to introduce you to another young lady who is very talented, and she's been doing this a long, long time. I've known her and her family for years, and she's an amazing performer. Come on, Tia P, let's go, girl.
How's everybody doing out there? Everybody good? Everybody good? All right, that was beautiful. Thank y'all for that. Those amazing performances, definitely getting getting the crowd in action. So yes, I go by the name of Tia P. I'm an Inglewood native, born and raised. I didn't just move here. All right, I ain't just step into I would. Like, please don't say that. Let's not make that a thing. I'm a Howard University graduate. But HU, you know. But this is home. This will always be home. And you guys are my people. This is my community. I'm so glad and honored to be at this event where basically we're telling you guys have the power. Your vote matters. Your voice matters. And not just in this election, but in the midterms. And it's not just about the presidency. It's about the propositions and the other local leaders that you guys are directly going to be, taking your issues to and things that you want to see done in your city, in your area, in your district. So your voice is important. And so with this song I'm going to do is called Get It Going. Okay, because right now we're here to rally each other up. We're here to get it going. I don't care what you've been told. Like my sister said earlier, it's a lot of misinformation going on in our communities, but it's up to us. See, they don't think we're really going to take the chance to actually go and get the facts, to get the true information. But we all have access to these $1 million devices called cell phones that allow us to research anything and everything, check multiple sources, and really get the truth of what's being presented to us on this ballot this year and years to come. All right, that sound good? That sound like a plan? All right, okay. Now, y'all tired of hearing me talking. Y'all like, yeah, get to the music. Okay, bet. So, this song is called Get It Going. So, let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Let's get it started. Let's drop it. Just drop it. Let's go. Let's go. If you want to get up, get up. If you want to sit down, can y'all at least clap your hands? Can you clap your hands for me? Up there, can y'all clap your hands for me? I can't see you, but I know you can see me. Yeah. Can we get it going? Yeah. Hey. Yo. So, fresh out the fire, I'm pure gold. Always been different than all the strokes. I knew from the beginning, I suppose this be the greatest story ever told. Let me know, had no time, no waste time. Yo, 99 problems ain't mine. Right now I'm tipping on a thin line, almost out of line when you cross mine. But I'm in the mood, a new attitude. Yeah, about to blow like a fuse, and I'm coming for you. Yeah. You know I be putting that work in like a preacher on Sunday service. Yeah, even my practice is perfect, can't tell me nothing. Cause I get it going, I get it poppin', I get it started. This is the moment, act like you own it, high as a rocket. Woo! I get it going, I get it poppin', I get it too. This is a passion, this is forever, this how we do it. Oh wait, y'all thought this was a game? That's why they so out of my lane. Look, my team, familiar. This is more than a name, it's more than a talk, it's more than a walk. See, we put in buckets to sweat every day. Hey, I said I'm in the mood, a new attitude, like to blow like a fuse, and I'm coming for you. Look, you know I be putting that work in like a preacher on Sunday service. Yeah, even my practice is perfect, can't tell me nothing, cause I get it going, I get it poppin', I get it started. This is the moment, and like I own it, high as a rocket. I get it going, I get it poppin', I get it to it. This is the passion, this is forever. We say, whoa, whoa. That's called a war cry, because right now, with this election, it feels like a war. But your voice is powerful. Your voice is powerful. Yeah. Woo! I get it going, I get it poppin', I get it. Where them hands at? This is the moment. High as a what? Say I get it going, I get it poppin', I get it to it. Say this is a passion, this is forever, this is how I do it. Yeah. I get it going. Yeah, I'm coming to y'all up in the balcony. I see y'all. Yeah. This is the moment, and like I own it, I'm high as a rock. Yeah. I get it going. You get it going? Hey, my guy. Hey. This is a passion. This is forever. This is how I do it. Hey. Bless. Thank you, beautiful people. Before I go, two things I need to make sure I mention. A, I go by the name of Tia P. You guys can find me on all streaming platforms and social media under I am TIAP. Also, the shirt that I'm wearing, well, that's my hat, but whatever. The shirt that I'm wearing says R2V. That is in conjunction with our voting registration group. Shout out to 6X Entertainment back there. See that? Yes, it's called Remember to Vote in November is the name of the campaign. On the back, well, is my hair in the way? So make sure you guys, the campaign is not telling you who to vote for, but we just want to make sure that we are getting people registered, especially the young voters like yourselves. Like everybody's been saying, this election is going to come down really to us. So if you are not registered, you got to think, why are they trying to make it so hard for people who look like you and I to make it to the polls, to get to have our voice be heard? If it didn't matter, they wouldn't make it so hard, now would they? So please remember, you are important. Your voice does count. I don't care if you come from a red state or blue state, your voice has no color. Your voice is important. So please, 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 if you care not just about the next 4 years, but the next 40 years, please, please, please do yourself and your future kids a favor. And please vote in this election because our futures depend on it, okay? Remember to vote is on Instagram at IamTiaP as well. God bless, and shout out to the other performers, and please, this is an amazing event. Get all the information you can and have a great night.
Just wow. That's all I can say. I feel safe in the hands of young people. Consciousness through art. That's what's up. Thank you, Yaz. Thank you, Jonah. And thank you, Tia P. Thank you. I think it's important. Conscious artists, right? They not like us, right? I ain't too old now, Tia. So thank you so much. This next person we're going to bring to the stage is a speaker. Wow, when did I meet you? At Harriet's house? Talk about community. I love community. So I'm going to read Sorrell's bio. And Sorrell Steinfeld. Sorrell is a UCLA alum and passionate technologist with a diverse background in software engineering, hardware development, and social impact initiatives. He has spearheaded innovative projects in the tech industry, from leading the quality assurance efforts for Apple's first Android application to pioneering technological solutions for supporting former foster youth. Sorrell's expertise spans a wide range of technologies, including web development, mobile applications, and cloud infrastructure. Currently, he serves as the co-founder and chief technology officer of Get Fit Code, a technology company dedicated to empowering individuals through technology and community-driven support with a focus on the foster care community. Sorrell, please come to the stage. And we're gonna have a little Q&A afterwards, so if anyone has any questions, we have a second mic for the audience.
Hey, my name is Sorrell Steinfeld, like Sid said. I am honored to be here, not just to talk about voting, but something much bigger, like us shaping the future. Before I start reading something to you, I wanted to demonstrate a breathing technique that my daughter and her beautiful mother and I do when we get overwhelmed or a little anxious. So I'll model it real quick, and then you can join me if you'd like. But I do this even in meetings when I get a little frustrated or I feel overwhelmed. So I'm a little anxious right now. So you take a deep breath, and then, yeah, I'll just demonstrate, and then I'll explain. So you basically just take a deep breath, and then once you feel like you've taken the biggest breath, and then you do one more. And that will reduce your heart rate and relax. So that felt really good for me. Hope that felt good for y'all. So yeah, I just wanted to read something to y'all. So I recently listened to a podcast about a student who had a spoon. That spoon became a symbol of power and control, something that student held on to in difficult times. In many ways, we all have our own spoon, something small but significant that helps us navigate challenges. For me, that spoon is a community I built through GFC, or Get Fit Code. GFC started as a way for me to create a feedback loop where I could ask questions, bounce ideas off of others, and grow aggressively in my career without the fear of repercussions. It helped me achieve my goal of becoming CTO by 23, well before I ever expected to. And as GFC evolved, it became more than just a professional community. It became a place for mentorship, a support system for individuals, including those that are former foster youth and system impacted, who are on their own journey to build software careers, become entrepreneurs, and the next practitioners. Now, I've got to be honest with all of you. I'm 31 years old, and I've never voted. Not once. And for the longest time, I really didn't think about it. It was just like this time when I got caught up in the planking trend. I don't know if any of you remember that planking trend, but I remember planking on 3rd Street Promenade, lying flat on random objects, just because everyone else was doing it. I wasn't thinking deeply about it, just going along with the flow. But just like planking, I realized that not voting was a decision I was making by default. I wasn't taking control of my story. And this ties back to mentorship. Because at Give It Code, one of the most important things we emphasize is changing the narrative we tell ourselves. For foster youth in particular, these stories we hear growing up might tell us we don't have the power, the voice, or the opportunities to shape our futures. But that's not true. Through mentorship, we help individuals take control of their stories, whether it's in voting, entrepreneurship, or building a career. Dr. Jim Laurier, the performance psychologist, said something that stuck with me when I was listening to that podcast. The greatest gift we can give ourselves is excitement about what we can become. Voting is part of that journey. Just like mastering a skill of software engineering or entrepreneurship, voting is about taking ownership of your future. At GFC, we're working to give that gift of excitement and mastery to everyone in our community, whether it's through teaching technical skills or helping former foster youth see their potential beyond the limits that might have been placed on them. Voting is one of those small but powerful acts, like holding on to that spoon. It may seem insignificant at first, but when we all come together, we have the power to shape our communities, our country, and our lives. For me, voting is now part of a bigger picture of how I mentor others. It's a way to model taking control and making a difference. So my challenge to you today is think about what your spoon is. What is that small but powerful thing that you can hold on to? Something that gives you the ability to shape your life and the lives of others. For you, it might be voting. For others, it might be taking the next step in your career or finding a mentor who could guide you. In the community that we build at Give It Code, we've helped so many people, especially those who come from challenging backgrounds like foster care, to take control of their story. And I believe voting is one way for all of us to do that. Voting is more than just a civic duty. It's an opportunity to take charge, to hold on to that spoon, and use it to create change. And that is the same with mentorship. At Give It Code, we're transitioning to a B corporation because we want to have an even greater impact. Not just building software, but building futures. So if you haven't registered to vote yet, do today. Let's show up, let's take control of our stories, and let's create the future we want. Thank you.
So now I remember where we met. We met at Foster Nation's mentorship
Yes, we did.
table when Glenn was there because
Yes.
I remember that breathing exercise.
Oh, yes.
That really helped me, so thank you. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? I think it's really significant that Sorrell showed up today and honestly said that he had never voted before, and I think that takes a lot of courage. And there is a question from the audience. Carla?
My question is, what changed for you that gave you a desire to want to vote?
To be very honest with you, it was actually a friend of mine, Harriet, that put this all on. Like, that's actually a really reason. And it was actually kind of frustrating because I could not really think, I didn't have really a clear answer. Like, why wasn't I voting? Again, it wasn't important to me. And like many things, like that I realized over time is I have a 4-year-old daughter, and I just reminded, like, for who we become, it's really a matter of who models for us, right? So I'm just lucky to have beautiful models like Glenn Friedman, Harriet, to step in my life and just like say, Sorrel, you haven't voted? You know, so and then also feeling like empowered and encouraged to even say that and feel confident to say, yeah, like while I haven't voted, I am voting this year. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Can you speak to, so Harriet is my mentor too, and she sat me down too, and I was like, okay, between you and my mom, I'm gonna have to go to the polls. Why is it important, like you said, to have someone in your life that models something for you? Can you speak a little bit more about that and what like mentorship represents in your life?
Whoa, mentorship, I literally would not be standing on this stage today or even have a daughter or even go to UCLA or anything if I did not have mentors in my life. Like I was on two paths. One could have taken me to prison and then the other path took me here, right? I almost got expelled from the university, the high school that I went into. And luckily I had two dads, one my foster dad, Charles Kidd, and my other dad, Ed Manansala. And luckily through their support and even mentorship, like I was able to change the trajectory I was on. And I did not have the typical upbringing, like, I mean, many foster youth don't, but one of my dads was the superintendent of the high school I went to. So he knew whether or not I had my shirt tucked in or not, you know? But through his guidance, modeling, it really impacted me and showed me not only the importance of getting support, but also giving it back, you know, in general. And yeah, so I think mentorship is beautiful. I would not be here today if I not have beautiful people that have stepped in my life and show me the importance of modeling.
Does anyone else have any questions for Sorrel? Yes.
That is a great question. You know, I hear it. I hear you about being conflicted, right? Like, and I don't blame you for being conflicted, but I just think about agency. I have a 4-year-old daughter, right? So I think about her navigating the world, and I think at the very minimum, you making a choice that aligns with your values is going to at least impact the people that you care about. And I bet you can say that you love someone or care about the way in which like the society affects them to some degree, right? So I think even if it's just thinking about those that you love and yourself and try and make the world a little bit better for them, that's maybe a simple reason why I would encourage you to, right? Like I know all the different things that are going on in society are kind of overwhelming, but maybe just focusing on yourself, you know, focusing on yourself and how maybe that vote could really change the trajectory, right, of your loved ones' lives. You know, that might be one reason that I would encourage you to do that.
So we have a question from the tech booth from our
nice.
Chief Innovation Officer, Sweet. Sean Jackson. Shout out to you, sir, for helping us get the tech together today. The question is, what role does technology and media play in voting today?
Ooh, that is, it plays every role. One, it's from building software from a younger age, like I am seeing the technology and the realities of how it can manipulate a lot of people. So one, it's a double-edged sword, to be honest with you, right? It is one to be very conscious of, and it is one to, I would say, while it's very powerful to get someone's message out or even see, I would also just caution for people to just read, like slow down, you know, don't always like try to look at the thing that just pops up in your face, you know, maybe ask questions like, why am I reading this? Like, what is this actually saying? You know, so I think technology is going to transform the world, right? We're seeing everything with AI. I mean, I'm part of the community that's developing it, and I'm excited for that future, but like I think everyone has heard technologists and different engineers explain about the scary future that is potential. Like, but the reality is we are the ones that get to control it, right? So if we choose to be more mindful and conscious of the media and the technology, then I think that future is going to be bright if we choose to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well spoken.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to give another shout out to Harriet, right? So I think, one, she is such a beautiful human. I'm going to talk a little bit about her, right? She stepped in my life, like through one of my other good friends and mentor, Glenn Friedman. But I want to say, while she helped bring everyone here, but there's another beautiful project that she has that she says it's a project which is way bigger, right? But she started a school in the Congo, right? The Congo Peace School, which is so beautiful. She has 600 students that are high school students, right? And I was recently reading stories about how some of them were graduating and going on to universities and stuff. So one, I'm just so thankful to have someone like Harriet in my life as a friend and making an impact. So anyone, it would be awesome for you to check out the Congo Peace School and contribute any way you want. So I appreciate it.
And shameless plug, we are actually trying to raise funds to purchase 50 new computers for the Congo Peace School.
Yes.
On behalf of Harriet and all that she's done for Better Youth. We have a potential donor, but that isn't until like the spring, I think, Harriet. So we are actively reaching out. If anyone here can assist in that goal, they have, archaic computers that those young people are working on. So we need $60,000. So I'm just gonna put it out there. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, people say. You have to ask. Speak it into existence. We need $60,000 to buy 50 computers for the kids in the Congo. So please see me if you're interested. Thank you. Oh, another thing, Univision will be here, and they're looking for someone who is bilingual. If anyone is bilingual here, please see me. Thank you, Sherelle.
All righty. Our next speaker is Sarah Jekyll. She is the founder and executive director of Democracy, a nonpartisan national nonprofit empowering historically underserved females identifying in high school students to step into concrete roles in civic leadership and inspire a critical early pipeline of women leaders, voters, civically engaged citizens, and future elected officials. Sarah has a bachelor's from Yale, Phi Beta Kappa, as a matter of fact, a master's in social work from USC, fight on, and a master's in public policy from UCLA. Sarah has dedicated her life's work to lifting up communities, spending the first decade of her career working on behalf of unhoused people, coping with mental illness, and bringing compassion-based resiliency skills into her current work with women. Please help us to welcome Sarah Jekyll.
Thank you so much. Hello, voters. So I am Sarah. I'm the founder and executive director of Democracy. And I wanted to talk about something that Tia P brought up, which is power. Voting is power. And if you've ever felt like you don't have power and you deserve it, this is your chance to take it. So I want to tell you a couple things. So Maya Janae, shout out to Maya Janae, was talking about how she cares about pollution and trash in our oceans, killing the wildlife and ultimately killing us. Is there anyone else here who cares about our climate? All right, then you care about voting, because voting is the power to make the laws that protect our oceans, our earth, and our weather. So I talked to Robert before the event. Robert cares about gang violence. Is there anyone else here who cares about gang violence? Yes, then you care about voting, because voting is the power to make laws that create pathways out of gangs, that protect people and get to root causes. This is power. And that beautiful speaker who was just up here, Sorrel, I asked him, what issue matters to you? He said, I have a 4-year-old daughter, and I care about her reproductive rights. I care about reproductive rights. I care about those. If we care about reproductive rights, that is where the power lies, is in the vote. If you care about protecting autonomy, you care about voting. Voting is the power to elect people who reflect our values, not just on these issues, but on every issue we care about. So I want to tell you, in 2010, California legislators passed a law, and they changed the date that foster youth leave the care of the foster system from 18 to 21. And they changed a lot of lives. But do you know why that bill got passed? Because voters cared, and they elected officials who would care. Voting is what passed that bill. If those legislators hadn't been in office, if different voters had voted in different people, that never would have happened. We relied on those voters, and you know what? The youth coming up now, they are relying on you. They need you to make the votes, to bring in the legislators that will represent them. So the other thing I wanted to talk about with power is what the vote is in the voting booth. So when you go into that voting booth, your vote counts exactly equal to everyone else's. So why is that important? Because I want you to think about a teacher, an administrator, maybe somebody who tells you what to do. And I want you to think that when you go in the voting booth, your vote carries exactly the same weight as theirs. So right now, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are running for president of the United States. That is potentially the most powerful position in the world. But here's the thing. In that voting booth, Kamala Harris's vote doesn't count any more than yours. Donald Trump's vote does not count any more than yours. That is the power of the vote. And here's the thing. In 2020, less than half of eligible voters ages 18 to 29 voted. Less than half. So if voting is power, and less than half of people ages 18 to 29 voted, that just drained power out of an entire generation. Because we will not reflect what you care about, and we will not reflect your experience until you show up and make us care by voting people into office who reflect you, reflect your experience, and reflect your values. And until young people are showing up in the voting booths, people aren't gonna reach out to them. People aren't gonna listen to them because nobody needs to. They're not voting. Let's make them listen to you by showing up and roaring at the ballot box. And there's something I would like to address. You know, I'm up here and I'm talking about voting and I'm saying it's so important, but you know what? Life is exhausting and it's hard. So when we are overwhelmed and exhausted, voting just sounds, difficult. It sounds tiring, right? And that is completely valid. And if we get overwhelmed and tired and don't show up to vote, the only people who will be voting are the people for whom things are easy. And you know what? They will keep voting in people that will keep things easy for them. If we want change, if we want to see ourselves reflected, then you know what? We have to overcome that exhaustion and we have to show up and vote because it's the only way we'll see change. So, in that hilarious biography, it mentioned I have a master's in social work and a master's in public policy. I think all the time about what social work skills we can use to get the public policy we want to see. So I'm gonna drop a couple. The first one I wanna tell you, when you're exhausted and you're like, you know what? I can't be bothered to register, I can't be bothered to vote, totally get it. I want you to resource someone who believes in you. It can be a teacher, it can be a coach, it can be a best friend, it can be a counselor, someone who says you matter and you are important. And someone who says, I want you to dig deep and take 2 minutes to fill out that registration form. Because what you say is important, and I believe in you. And I want you to resource that inner champion when all the voices come in and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's so exhausting. None of this matters. I want you to hear that inner champion and show up and vote, and that is how we see change. So first one, inner champion. And here's something I wanted to say. If an inner champion doesn't come to mind, please use me, because I fiercely want you to vote. Here is the next social work skill. I want you to visualize. So there is someone in your life, someone in your school, someone on TV that you've seen that you care about, that you want to reach out and protect. And you know what? When you go to that registration form and you take the 2 minutes to fill it out, I want you to see them, really visualize them next to you. What are they wearing? What is the expression on their face when they are looking at you? Filling out that registration form to uplift and protect them. What are they looking like when they look at you doing that? Who are you standing for? And I want you to see them as you fill out the form. Show them the form and let them know you will protect them. You will vote. And the last thing that I want you to have is a skill. And this is something we have to do together. We have to believe that things could be different. We have to believe that we can build a different country, law by law, and vote by vote. Because there is a part of the Declaration of Independence I know you've heard. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It's a beautiful statement. And you and I know so many people were left out of that statement. But here's the thing. What if it wasn't a statement? What if it was an aspiration? What if it was something that we can see, that we can build because we vote it into being? Actual equal access to opportunity, actual equal protection under the law, actual equal control over our own bodies, and the actual equal ability to not only succeed, but thrive. There is an America that has never been, but absolutely could be. And we will realize her when we use our voice and when we vote. Thank you, and I cannot wait for you to register.
So I'm inspired. I'm ready to go. So when is the last day, young people? When is the last day to vote? Register? October 21st. When is election day? 5th, yeah? Thank you, Sarah. Very inspired. And I've been inspired. I came in here a little under the weather, but people prayed for me, so thank you. I'm gonna do a poem. It's called Super Shiro. And this is dedicated to all the women in my life who've inspired me, stood in the gap, prayed for me. I especially want to acknowledge Michelle, Carla, Harriet, Robin, who couldn't be here but made this event happen, Micah, am I missing anyone? Tanya, Janae, Yaz, Tia P. We have to acknowledge, and Sarah, we have to acknowledge, and Ms. Watson, we have to acknowledge the women in our lives, Beth, Ryan, Dr. Charity, Lindsay Elliott from Happy Trails, Reagan Williams from Seen and Heard, Taiji Charity from Kids in the Spotlight. All of these women have somehow inspired me just within the last 5 minutes or the last 5 years or 15 years. So I thank you. We wild women ride railroads with combat boots strapped and laced tightly, protecting our sheep because our children, they sleep with nightmares. We keep our emotions frozen from history and fiction books. We, the daughters of Sheba, heirs to the throne, we imbibe intuition. We bear our burdens on backs barren, our gender specific. We are the superwomen. The ladies to give birth to revolutions in boardrooms, break rooms, bodegas, and brothels where some of us finance romance due to personal circumstance, but we survive. They call us she, short for Super Shero, because we can't escape the cape. We build bridges that generations will cross. We crochet uniforms for marching armies. We pray, repeat scripture, some chant namaste, and sing warrior lullabies. We connect with ancestors for answers to questions that 6-year-olds conceive. In Alabama, where blood-colored soil echoes the dreams of 4 little angels, we climb heights with deer and send out warnings of lightning and thunder. Rain cleanses our wounds, and we are positioned for battle again. We strive. They call us she, short for Super Shero, those of us who can't escape the cape. Our memories are like elephants and our swords are like tusks. We travel in packs and use our weapons when necessary. Our words pierce through flesh that is diseased. Some of us are doctors, some midwives, some serve as counsel, and the rest of us wait. We stir up gifts and barter with dignity to gain honor. Friends and fruit, we choose carefully. Wisdom is our passport for this sojourn, and we rub cocoa butter on scars and mend broken bones. We stay alive. They call us she, short for Super Shero, because we can't escape the cape. We look until we find the red, orange, yellow sunset. We don't sleep because we tired of being tired. We rise until we kiss the sky. Our mothers are silent because they cannot speak. It is our time, and we must rely on the moon inside. The tide is current, the tomatoes ripe, the harvest ready. The virtuous woman in the mirror is battle ready. The marrow of her elegant bones is where Solomon hid his riches. Our names are written by scribes and translated into hieroglyphics. We are prolific. We are fried fish, candied yams, tacos, collard greens, mac and cheese, sweet tea, and hot water cornbread on the side, please. We are soul food thoroughbreds, so call us by name. We are Julie Dash, Michelle Drayton, Harriet Zaretsky, Shah Bahadori, Matahari, Zora Hill, Neil Hurston, Brenda Stewart, Ava DuVernay, Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris, Queen Esther, and we don't need Charlie to be angels. Only God. Because we thrive, they call us she, short for Super Shero, because we can't escape the cape. We forget and then we remember. We are single mothers with 5 mouths to feed, we succeed. We are crackheads with habits, trading places with movie stars, we breathe. We are aid to dependent children, we breed. We are public in our quest to conquer the world. We are the United States of women, chairs of the board, senators and presidents. We are more than hashtags and moments. We are movements all by ourselves. We are free
to be we. They call us she, short for super sheroes. So as we walk miles on roads less traveled with shoes tight around our ankles, the footprints we make are indelibly recorded on the iPads of little girls who play TikTok with other little girls who Snapchat the lesson to little boys. Our names are documented in court dockets, scribbled on prison walls and notebooks and typed in cold by paralegals. We are eagles and we ride or die for the masses. We are hope for the hopeless. Our wombs are habitats for humanity, and we make no excuses and apologize only to ourselves. Our men, they call us blessed, and learn Lamaze, giving pause for the cause. They call us she, short for super shero, because we can't escape the cape. So respect the swag and call us by name, because only the unattainable renders us insane. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can't tell young people about having a voice and not utilizing yours. So I thank you to my mentee of, we'll say 10 plus years, John A. Rivers, who has been in the trenches, one of the founding members of Better Youth. I thank you for encouraging me. I thank you for the other night when I needed mentoring, and you gave it to me, so thank you. And I think at that point, Michelle, do you want to come and close us out? Does anyone have any questions? Does any young people have any questions in the audience? Anything we can answer before we close out? I know we still have music, maybe, and still have food, but we're here to educate, empower, and elevate. And so we just want to make sure that you walk out of here and have all the information. There's a resource table. I think there's the propositions that have been printed out. There's a resource handout where you can go and watch videos from PBS. We also want to acknowledge PBS. We did a partnership with them to use content from their library. Cal Matters has a voter's guide. There's a QR code out there. Vote 411 also tells you about the process. You know, this is nonpartisan, so we're just here to say get involved. You know, get involved. Raise your voice because it is power. It is power and it is important.
I'm standing up here crying. I'm trying to get it together. Ooh, that poem was so powerful. It was amazing. Give her another hand. It was amazing. Thank you all for being here. I know we have stood up here and said, vote, 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 vote. And we're going to keep on saying it because Michelle Obama said, do something. So everybody has to understand that that is what we have to do. And that's what this event has been about, doing something. So again, if you know of people in your family, kids at school that are old enough to register to vote and they have not, talk to them about it. You don't have to say, vote for this person or vote for that person, but vote. That is the point, and that is the power. So, as Sid said, we have food still. We got the DJ out there playing music. Please help yourself. The truck is still in the back. Enjoy the rest of the event. We'll be here until 5 o'clock. And again, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you.
I do want to say this. The presidential election is not the only election that matters. Make sure you vote for your senators. Make sure you vote for your Congress members. Make sure you vote for your DA. Make sure you vote for your attorneys and these judges. It's not just the president that matters, because the president got a whole team, the executive branch, the legislative branch, and I can't forget the other one, but the judicial, yeah, that one right there. But y'all know I know what I'm talking about. You feel me? No, but for real, yo, the presidential one is not the only one that matters, especially when it comes to our local elections. Make sure you vote for these city council members, the ones who say yes or no to where these funds are going, you know? Make sure you go get out and go say something, because they tearing our communities apart, and it's because we're not voting for the people that care about our communities. We're voting for the people that are capitalists and care about the money. And so make sure y'all get out here and not just vote for the president, but vote for those people that make an impact in your communities and in your neighborhoods as well.